we'll see about the blood vessels. Okay, we'll continue the transportation in human beings. Now, what are these blood vessels? The blood vessels are the pipelines which deliver the blood in the body. So you can see here, so these are the blood vessels which deliver the blood in the body. Now, there are three types of blood vessels, that is arteries, veins and capillaries. Now, what are the difference between these three blood vessels? So if you consider this is an organ, okay, the box is like a organ, and this organ needs the fresh blood. Okay, the fresh blood comes in and the waste blood goes out from this side. Okay, there are two paths here, so fresh blood comes in and the waste blood goes out from this side. Fresh blood always carries oxygen, it is called oxygenated blood, and the waste blood, it is deoxygenated blood. Okay, it has carbon dioxide. Now the pipes which brings the fresh blood are called arteries. Three types of blood vessels: arteries, vein and capillaries. So the pipe which brings fresh blood, it is called arteries, and the pipe which removes the waste blood, it is called veins. Now if you see this artery takes the blood away from the heart. Okay, now if you imagine heart is here, so this artery takes the blood away from the heart, whereas veins takes the blood towards the heart. So remember, don't get confused. Arteries takes the blood away from the heart and the veins takes the blood towards the heart. So as I said in the previous videos, vena cava is the largest vein and aorta is the largest artery. Now, as the heart pumps the blood into the artery, okay, as the heart pumps the blood into the artery, and what happens? In vein, the blood comes out. Now, in artery, there is lot of pressure because from the heart, the blood is moving, isn't it? Artery carries the fresh blood. So since it is carrying the fresh blood, there is a lot of pressure in the arteries. So if the pressure is more, what happens? The arteries will get burst, isn't it? Now, in order to prevent, what do the arteries have? They have the thick walls. Okay, in order to prevent the bursting of this artery, so these have thick walls, whereas veins have thin walls. So remember, from the heart the blood is moving through artery. Since the heart is moving, the fresh blood is moving through artery, so they have the thick wall so that it can prevent the bursting of the arteries, whereas veins, they take the deoxygenated blood, so they do not need the, they have the walls but not thick walls, but they have thin walls. Now why, as I said, why arteries have thick walls? Because they are under high pressure. Okay, they are under pressure. Now if you see in veins, since there is no pressure, blood can move back. Okay, if you see, blood can move back because there is no high pressure in the veins. So in order to prevent the backflow, what do they have? They have valves. So remember, artery carries oxygenated, okay, oxygen rich blood, except the pulmonary artery. Remember, arteries, all the arteries carries oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery, whereas here, except pulmonary vein, all the veins carry the deoxygenated blood. Why the pulmonary artery and the pulmonary vein cannot take? Because if you have seen in the previous video, you have seen the blood from the lungs, it moves to the left atrium, through which the gateway called the pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein, you know, it takes the oxygenated blood, isn't it? So except pulmonary vein, all the veins carry the deoxygenated blood. Now next, in the right hand side, all the deoxygenated blood moves, isn't it? Now there, what happens from the right, from the all organs, it carries the blood to the right atrium, through which gate? That is the pulmonary artery. So except here, what happens here? Pulmonary, except pulmonary artery, all the arteries carry the oxygenated blood. So remember, arteries carries oxygenated blood, whereas veins carry deoxygenated blood. Now what are capillaries? You have learnt about arteries and veins. Now what are capillaries? Now as you see this same image, the capillaries are the blood vessels. Okay, remember, the capillaries are the blood vessels which are present inside the organ. So if you see here, these are the capillaries. Okay, these lines, they are the capillaries which are present inside the organ. Now imagine there are cells. Okay, inside the organ there are cells. Now these capillaries here, they act as a tap. That is, capillaries are the place where the blood interacts with the cells. Okay, the capillaries are the place where the blood interacts with the cells. So capillaries are the exchange side. So remember, capillaries are the exchange side because the blood interacts with the cells. So capillaries which are present inside the organ. Next we'll see the difference between arteries and veins. So very important, this difference between arteries and veins. If you see, arteries, they carry blood away from the heart, whereas veins towards the heart. Blood flows under high pressure in the arteries, whereas veins, in the vein, blood flows under low pressure. Arteries have got thick and elastic walls, whereas veins, they have thin walls and less elastic. There is no much elasticity. Whereas arteries, they have the thick and elastic walls. If you see in the arteries, the walls are absent, whereas veins, they have walls, because in order to prevent the backflow of blood. These carry the oxygenated blood, except pulmonary artery, as I said, and here veins, they carry deoxygenated blood except pulmonary veins. Next we'll see about lymph. What is lymph? Lymph is a pale colored fluid, okay, which carries WBC, white blood cells. In the lymph, only white blood cells are present, okay, and it is pale color. Now if you see, in our body, there are two fluids present. One is blood and another one is lymph. Now you have seen about the arteries, veins, capillaries, isn't it? Now there are arteries, there are veins, capillaries, and also the cells are present. Now what happens here? Now when the blood is flowing through the capillaries, okay, when the blood which flows through the capillaries, the plasma which is present in the blood, it comes out, okay, it comes out from blood capillaries and it surrounds near the cell. See, in the blood capillaries, blood flows, isn't it? So blood from the blood capillaries, that is, comes out, that is plasma, okay, plasma from the blood which comes out and it surrounds near the cell, so that it may take oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. Okay, here what happens, it surrounds the cell so that oxygen may enter and the carbon dioxide may come out. So after this, what happens, the all plasma, they do not go back, okay, the plasma which comes out from the blood, they surround the cell, and the remaining plasma, they will not go back, but what happens, they leaks out from the organ, okay, they leaks out. And where does it go? It enters another set of blood vessels. Whatever the plasma which is leaked, so that will enter into the another set of blood vessels, which is called lymph vessels. Okay, those blood vessels are called lymph vessels. And the fluid which is leaked out here is called as lymph. It is also called extracellular fluid. Okay, it is also called extracellular fluid. Let's see the functions of lymph. First of all, it drains excessive fluids from tissues. Now if you see, it puts back the fluid into veins. Okay, so whatever the leaked plasma, so what happens, that plasma will be put back to the veins. So excessive fluid which is there, it drains from tissues. Now in the lymph, if you see, white blood cells are present, therefore it is pale or white in color. Since WBC, the function of the WBC is helps in immunity, even this lymph also helps in immunity. The second is transports fats from digestive system. Now if you see in the, you have seen the villi, isn't it? During digestive system in the small intestine, there are villi, finger like projection. So these villi, they have the lymphatic vessel. Okay, they have the lymphatic vessel. So this lymph will help in transport of fats from digestive system. Now fourth, it removes debris from cells of the body, and also it helps to fight infection. Lymph will help to fight against infection. Next, the systole and diastole. What is systole and diastole? It is nothing but, systole is contractory phase, whereas diastole is relaxed phase. Okay, contractory phase of the heart and diastole is relaxed phase of the heart. Now you have heard about blood pressure, isn't it? So as the blood moves inside, what happens? It puts the pressure on the walls of the blood. Okay, as the blood moves inside, it puts pressure on the walls of the blood. So when heart is contracted, the blood pressure will be more, but when the heart is relaxed, the pressure will be less. Remember, when the heart is contracted, the blood pressure is more. When it is relaxed, the blood pressure is less. So that is what the systole and diastole. So systole, the blood pressure is more, whereas diastole, the blood pressure is less. Next, sphygmomanometer. What is this? This is the equipment used to measure blood pressure. So what is a normal blood pressure? That is 120 by 80 millimeter of mercury. So the systole will have 120 and the diastole will have 80. Now what happens if the blood pressure is high? What happens if the blood pressure is high? The arteries will burst, isn't it? It's because the arteries carry the blood, oxygenated blood. So since the blood pressure is high, what happens to these arteries? They start bursting. Okay, arteries will burst because of the high pressure. So the person should have normal blood pressure, that is 120 by 80.